Europe's privacy law, GDPR, is discussed a lot, and for good reason. On one hand, it significantly bolsters individuals' privacy rights, and on the other, it requires organizations to adhere to a higher level of privacy and security than they have generally in the past. GDPR also has the potential to significantly fine and materially impact organizations. So this is a regulation that most, if not all, organizations need to think about. Today we're going to talk about this law in about 5 minutes, but be aware that this law is complex and nuanced, and so this video is intended just to give you a basic overview and a basic understanding of what GDPR is, so that you're ready to learn more about it. Or if this isn't something that really concerns you, you're nominally aware of it. So GDPR aims to formalize privacy as a fundamental human right. It puts it in place with other rights like freedom of speech. It also gives people control over their personal data, or PII, and it designates organizations as stewards rather than owners of personal data. A steward is an organization or a person that has a responsibility or duty over something, in this case personal data. And lastly, GDPR aims to ensure that organizations respect people's privacy rights. It does this primarily through the potential of large and significant fines. Now, GDPR applies when an organization does anything with somebody's personal data. Some examples include collecting it, analyzing it, and saving and storing it. Now, we've talked about PII, or personal info, and under GDPR, PII is any type of data that can identify a person, whether that's directly, for example, through somebody's name, or indirectly through a group of data, so like somebody's address or restaurant preferences. It also includes any information about an individual that's inferred through analysis. So, for example, Facebook and Google have systems that profile individuals and predict what people will want to buy next, or where they may go shopping next, and so those predictive analytics also count as PII under GDPR. Next, GDPR covers all individuals who are within the European Economic Area, regardless of their citizenship or residency status. The European Economic Area is the European Union plus Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. And organizations have to comply with GDPR if they have an office in one of the countries that's in the EEA, or they market or offer services and goods to people who are in the EEA. So an example of this would be if a company sells a product in euros on their website, or if they have a website that's available in English, French, German, and Italian, that would be considered to them marketing to people within the EEA. Now, under GDPR, individuals have 7 rights. They have the right to access or have a copy of all of their PII, to have their data deleted, to give consent or to be opted out by default, to have any incorrect information corrected about them, to have their data be easily portable, meaning transferring from one service to another service. So the most common example would be individuals have a right to be able to have their data easily transferred from one social media platform to another social media platform. Individuals also have the right to object to their data being processed and to basically have their data stopped being processed. So for example, you sign up for a newsletter, after 6 months you decide you don't want it, you have the right to opt out or unsubscribe from that newsletter. There are several rules organizations must comply with. The first is they need to assist and enable individuals to exercise their privacy rights. They need to also have a robust and mature security program to keep PII secure. And they also need to notify individuals and EU and EEA officials of any breaches involving PII. Now, fines for violations extend beyond just data breaches. So if an organization doesn't obtain an individual's consent, it's a violation. Now, fines can significantly impact organizations, and there are 2 types of fines. There are minor violations and major violations. maximum fine for a minor violation is 10 million euros or 2% of global revenue, whichever is greater. And note here that global revenue means annual global revenue, not just profit. And the maximum fine for major violations is the greater of 20 million euros or up to 4% of global revenue. These are the maximum amounts. This table here provides some examples of maximum fines based on annual global revenue, as well as the severity of a violation. So you can take a minute and pause the video and look at this. So what can you do? First is consult with your organization's legal counsel to see how and where GDPR applies. And along with that, make sure you determine how it applies and in what ways. And then if you want to learn more, I have a full in-depth overview of GDPR that's much longer than this, and we cover many of these topics in detail. So I just want to thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on the video or contact me directly through on LinkedIn or Twitter. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.